Ready to go, our officiating crew, Gary Maxwell, Jeb Hartness, Paul Zelk, and from T-Mobile Center, it's the Illini in orange, Cincinnati in white, and the Fighting Illini and Andre Curbelo have the first possession. Maxwell was looking immediately for Coburn, and now Curbelo feeds him. Adu on him, trying to back him down, and Adu punches it away, and it's saved along the sideline by Micah Adams-Woods. Here's a three, Davenport off the right side. He knew he was off the mark, tried to follow that miss, but Curbelo, long pass, tried to get it back to Kofi Coburn in the corner. A three is off the left rim from Trent Frazier.
Frenetic pace early here in Kansas City. You gotta like it.
Yes. Davenport doesn't line that one up. Davenport takes the three off the left side. Davenport, who's been their leading scorer, averaging 13 points a game, has missed his first two shots. Coburn goes up off the glass, and there's the first points of the game, and it comes to Coburn.
That's bad news for the Cincinnati Bearcats. You've got a formidable defensive player in Abdul Adu, and he looked like he was a rag doll thrown out of bounds on that play.
Coburn, the preseason Big Ten Player of the Year. We outlined had to miss the first 3 games of the season. And there is a travel, and it's back to the Illini.
Kofi Coburn gets such early position. Look at this right there. He's at the elbow. He's already working on Adu. And then look at Adu. He just falls out of bounds. Chocolate Thunder, round 1.
Makes his season debut tonight. He served a 3-game suspension to open the season for selling apparel and memorabilia. His mistake was doing all that days before the name, image, and likeness legislation came into effect on July 1st. Curbelo fadeaway, short, grabbed out of the air. Grandison trying to go back up. Adu got a hand on it. Kept alive by Maxwell in the corner. 7 to shoot. Maxwell.
Uh-oh.
Wow! And Coburn slams it home.
Screaming down the floor. You could hear Kingston, Jamaica erupt.
I think the big man was ready to play, don't you?
He's ready, no question. We kind of sensed that yesterday when we spoke to him.
That's a 3, left side, around and out for David DeJulius.
Coburn is dominating early.
Cincinnati's missed their first 3 shots from the field to start tonight. Adu all wrapped up with Coburn, and Abdul Adu will pick up the foul.
He just steps to the open area. You know, the one thing about Kofi Coburn is that he has a good nose for the basketball, and he steps to the open area. When he feels his defender go to the ball, he steps to the open wood. Well done by the big fella.
We talked with Brad Underwood yesterday, and he said, you know what stands out about Kofi Coburn? He never has a bad day.
Yeah, he's a really great sunshine young man.
Adu's got to be careful. Well, he just picked up his second, so not even 3 minutes into the game, and Abdul Adu has 2 personals. There's Brad Underwood, season 5 for him. A team that he led to a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament last year.
You know, I actually coached against Brad when he was an assistant coach at Western Illinois. This is a guy who has paid his dues. He's been a small college head coach. He's been a junior college head coach. He's been an assistant coach for a lot of his career. Spent over 10 seasons with Jim Kerwin at Western Illinois and Macomb. This is a guy that has paid his dues. He's no overnight success. And what a success story. And Stephen F. Austin, Oklahoma State, and now for the Fighting Illini of Illinois.
24-7 last year. They went 16-4 in the Big Ten. That was their best Big Ten record ever, 16 wins.
We've got a little interesting information on Brad Underwood later on tonight, too. I don't think many fans are going to know about it. One word. I'm going to give you a hint. Just one word.
Well,
can I give one word?
Sure.
You know I'm dying for this one. Moo.
Bovine?
There you go. See, that's why you're the play-by-play guy.
Cincinnati trying to get on the board. There's a jumper, and fouled in the act was Micah Adams-Woods. Brad Underwood saying where was the foul? And Jeb Hartness says it was on the hand. Got him on the arm.
And the official won the argument.
Imagine that. I don't think they're still undefeated, aren't they? Foul was on Alfonso Plummer. He's come in off the bench for the Illini. And at the line, Adams Woods. First point of the game for the Bearcats.
Really mature, a steadying influence for Wes Miller, an extension, if you will, of another point guard, Wes Miller, who played at North Carolina. Got that dynamic offensive game, can guard defensively.
No surprise Adams Woods hit both free throws there. There's a look at the head coach, first year Wes Miller. And Bearcats got the right guy, didn't they?
They sure did. I mean, we're talking about Krzyzewski type numbers as far as under 40-year-old coaches and the number of wins he's had.
Alfonso Plummer knocks down his fourth three of the game. Fourth three of the season, that is. First of tonight, and Wes Miller and Cincinnati elects to call a timeout. What a start for the Illini. Coburn has been hot.
Teacher. He communicates well. He connects well with his players. As we look at the ball getting batted out of bounds. But what I really like about him, that he came in with his feet on the ground, sprinting toward a culture. They do a basic circle together as a team. And he asked different team members, what are you grateful for today? I think it's a great way to start practice. What are you grateful for today, especially in today's day and age?
Driving lay in there. Mike Saunders off the bench for Cincinnati. It was great to watch all the teams practice yesterday. Really impressed with Wes Miller's practice as well. Who, by the way, 4-0, as I mentioned, to start his career as the head coach at Cincinnati. Nice pass underneath. Locken was able to adjust that shot. Now Saunders diving.
Great hustle.
Bodies everywhere. And they're going to call the foul on the big man, Victor Locken.
But both these teams were edgy yesterday. Is that the right way to describe them?
Yes.
All getting after it. There's Saunders getting on the floor, little Bearcat basketball, and then the Illini come up with it. Locken piles on. That's one thing that the officials are focusing on this year. When you dive on a guy who gets the loose ball, that's an automatic foul. But Victor Locken, he ends up blocking the shot on one end. The big Russian, kid out of Moscow, played for Cheska, one of the elite international teams in the world. He's going to be special. This kid has a lot of ability.
So Illini ball and the 5-point lead. Looking to get it to Curbelo. Here is Curbelo, runs into Saunders.
Boy, this defensive group has been effective for Wes Miller. The depth off the bench, a defensive depth charge, and Curbelo finally gets free.
And left-hand layup. Lead back up to 7. First bucket of the game for the point guard, Curbelo, for all that went on at UCLA.
Mine was Rick Byrd, and I'll tell you why. As far as balancing academic performance and athletic achievement, Rick Byrd is the greatest coach in the country and maybe the greatest coach in the history of college basketball. He had more academic All-Americans over a 15-year period than any coach in the country. Krzyzewski, talk about Stanford, talk about any Ivy League, talk about anybody you want to. He had more academic All-Americans and won more games during that time as well. Over 800 career wins, won the ASUN, won the Ohio Valley Conference. Just a tremendous gentleman and coach, and also a roadie for Vince Gill during the summer, by the way. You gotta love that.
Shot clock's down to 4. Curbelo 3. Got it.
Wow!
Curbelo hits his first 3 of the season after missing his first 7 3-point attempts on the year. And the lead is 10 for Illinois.
Well, they're looking for Locken inside. Big fella, 30, he wants it, he gets
Hawkins defending him, trying to back Hawkins down. Locken spinning, looks, goes up, a hand on that. It was partially blocked by Payne, and then the shot clock expired.
Yeah, Omar Payne was in perfect help position on the backside. That's preparation of the scouting report. Hawkins did a good job of building the fence, and Omar Payne did a good job of shutting the gate.
The shot clock violation is the 3rd turnover for Cincinnati. Bearcats off to a 1-for-6 start from the field, and there's a turnover for the Illini. Their second now, turned right back. Number 4 for Cincinnati. And Curbelo, acrobatic. He'll go to the line and try to complete the 3-point play. That's 7 quick points for Andre Curbelo.
Andre Curbelo, a circus act. Well, he's been able to lower his shoulder, get to the rim, and make plays Steve Nash-like. Yeah, flex them. Go ahead and flex them. You deserve it, Andre.
Woody Aguama picks up his second foul, so Aguama and Adu each with 2 early fouls for Cincinnati. And Curbelo finishes off the three-point play, and quite a start here for 14th-ranked Illinois. 6 minutes into the game, they're up 13.
Curbelo's done everything but stand on his head out here. He's been tremendous.
From what I hear, he can do that if requested as well. DeJulius off the back rim, a rebound for Coburn. Quick outlet, it comes to Grandison. Illini have hit 6 of 11 from the field. There's the left hand, and Coburn. Wow.
That was just a bulldozer move. The earth shook.
8 points for Kofi Coburn, and this is his debut for this season.
But I was really curious coming into this game with the depth, the defensive depth of Cincinnati going up against Kofi Coburn. And so far, Kofi Coburn has simply had his way.
Well, the Illini come in 2-1. They lost their last game to Marquette in Milwaukee. And no disrespect to Shaka Smart's team. Great win for them. Do they win that game if Coburn's in the lineup? I would say no.
Yeah, that was an NCAA win for Marquette.
One that they can put away for later in the year for sure. It'll help their resume.
It'll help them, and it also was driven by the NCAA decision to have Coburn not play in the first 3 games, which I don't get. But we're not even going to go down there tonight. It's a great night. We're going to celebrate the game. I'm not going to get negative on it, but I support Kofi Coburn. I'm glad he's now free.
I think everybody except the Illini opponents happy with that. Here he's showing his range a little bit long with that 15-footer from the right elbow. Even with that miss, the Illini 7 of 13 from the floor to start tonight. That pass behind Lockett. He was breaking towards the bucket. Grandison got a hand on it. Lockett able to get it back across. Lockett trying to step around Coburn and banks it in.
Yeah, Lockett's got a chance to be really, really good.
His first bucket. Underneath Coburn. He's already in double-digit scoring with 10.
Bully ball inside.
Well, if you were 7 feet tall, 285 pounds, you might be a bit of a bully
yourself.
yourself.
No, I mean in the most positive way.
Koval. We got Koval and Lockett in at the same time with Coburn in there. That ball saved nicely for Illinois, DeMonte Williams. He's able to create the possession for the Fighting Illini. Open 3, Grandison. Coburn deflected that, and there it's kept alive by Williams.
Koval has never seen anything like this inside, and Coburn is just beating him up for the offensive rebound. Just watch Coburn when the ball goes up.
Coburn gets around Koval. That was too.
You know, the thing that I love about Andre Curbelo is that during practice, we got a chance to watch both teams practice both yesterday and today. He is truly a coach in practice as well. He communicates well with his teammates. He's engaged as a coach on the floor. You got to love the way this kid plays and his motor, and he's savvy. I love him.
Well, with Ayo Dosunmu going to the NBA, a lot on Curbelo's plate. That's an important basket right there for Madsen in Cincinnati. You need to find some points. They haven't shot the ball all that well, and also have to try to find an answer for Coburn.
No, this is on the end where they've just simply got to find a way to surround Coburn every time he catches the ball. I mean, one defender is not going to stop him in the paint. And then you double down, you got 3-point shooters open.
Got freshman R.J. Melinda is now in there for the Illini. And great diving attempt. Saunders almost deflected that off the Illini, but it will stay with Illinois.
Yeah, Mike Saunders, one of those guys I would love to coach. Gives you great ball pressure. He's a high-level, high ball speed guy where he attacks in Wes Miller's defense. He fits Miller perfectly.
Wes Miller's team 4-0 to start the season. Wins over Evansville by 22, 5-point win over Georgia, and then beat Alabama A&M by 23, and Presbyterian by 34, and the shot clock violation. Little defensive pick-me-up there for the Bearcats.
So the chess match has now begun, and Wes Miller now is attacking with a second defender. That time it was Jeremiah Davenport that dove on Kofi Coburn that took him away from the basket. Well done by Cincinnati. Good adjustment by Wes Miller.
And the third turnover for the Illini. Coburn comes out on Koval. Davenport missed his first couple of shots. Going to force that one up off the left side for their leading scorer this year, Jeremiah Davenport.
It's a great call, Mark. He forced that. Sometimes you want to score 10 points in one possession. That shot by Davenport was not patient.
This is Plummer now giving it up back to the guard, Frazier. Screen, Coburn, that's a three. Aggressive rebound, Williams, but they're going to say it's a tie-up, and the possession error will give it to Cincinnati.
So how do you stop Kofi Coburn? You can't stop him with one guy. You've got to send it to second defender. Watch number 24 in white. Davenport comes to the backside. You got four guys that are all digging, and Davenport gets to the ball. That's the adjustment of the Cincinnati Bearcats.
A necessary adjustment. Coburn, 12 points, 5 of 6 from the field. His only field goal miss was that 15-foot jumper that he took. Newman. Midway through the first half in Kansas City, Davenport turns it over. The Illini with a 13-point lead. That almost was increased, but Newman made a great block. A miss by Plummer. Cincinnati forces it quickly ahead. Saunders driving and got it.
Love that. How do you attack the rim before Kofi Coburn gets back? That's how. Mike Saunders. A little extra jet action out there.
Saunders has come off the bench. Added 6 quick points for the Bearcats. Plummer tried to bank it in. Now numbers momentarily for the Bearcats. And an offensive foul whistled against Micah Adams-Woods. Taking the charge there was DeMonte Williams.
Cincinnati has turned up the energy level. This is a team now that's showing that rabid Cincinnati defense that we've seen previously. John Newman III right there goes up. And he plays as intense a defense as anybody on this Bearcat team. He can be a special defender, and I love his eyes. He's got those big competitive eyes where he just wants to devour you.
He has laser focus, especially when he's playing defense.
Oh, I love the way he focuses on his job as a defender.
That's going to be the 4th turnover for the Illini. Cincinnati, after that timeout from Wes Miller, they've kind of found an identity offensively and then defensively when Coburn was in the game.
Well, and Curbelo has been out of the game. Yes. That's been the biggest difference for Illinois. As soon now Curbelo's back in, gee, I wonder why. And he's truly a head coach on the floor. And there's a difference between just a point guard that's just a coach who makes good decisions and a guy who really runs the show.
Illinois is taking advantage of those Cincinnati turnovers. 9 points off those turnovers. Open three, the left-handed shot. Rounded out for Adams-Woods. Kept alive. Got Adu back in there playing with 2 fouls. He's tangled up with Payne. Down low. Lockett almost traveled.
Good screen.
To Julius to step back. Good.
Big time screen by Vic Lockett. That's why DeJulius was so wide open. The Russian wall of Moscow came through.
Gave DeJulius his first bucket of the night. He's got Cincinnati back down to single digits. That three was the first made three for the Bearcats. They had missed their first 5. Curbelo finds Payne. Hanging on the rim. It still went in. Locken went up as well. They are counting the bucket.
Curbelo just reads defenders so well and delivered that ball right on the dime.
Okay, now they are going to wave it off.
They're going to wave it off because he hung on the rim. And by bending the rim, it affected the roll of the shot.
Which is why I said, and with a bit of surprise, they counted the basket. But that has been changed. And Coach Underwood asking about that call, but it certainly looks to be the correct one. It doesn't take away the foul on Lockett,
right.
His second, and it puts Payne at the line.
Yeah, if he would not have hung on the rim and pulled the rim down, that basket probably would have rolled in.
Cincinnati, by the way, 3 players now with 2 fouls. Lockett becoming the third, joining Adu and Guama, all with 2 personals. So Lockett to the bench.
Now, they've got a lot of fouls to burn with their big guys.
Well, they better.
They're going to need them.
Yes.
They're going to need them.
Payne knocks him down. Lead for the Illini to 9. A bucket on that last free throw does end a 7-0 run for the Bearcats. Adu sets the screen on Curbelo. Adams Wood started to attack, but was deterred by Payne. Now Adu and Payne down low. Curbelo got a hand in there. Adu with the right hand. Nice play.
Cincinnati settling in now, only down 7. Look, this has been a rough start for the Bearcats, but they weathered the first storm now and starting to find their Kansas City legs here.
Well, that first storm was Curbelo. Nice bounce pass. Davenport tied him up. Possession error will keep.
A human rebound machine. Then you got Marcus Sasser who runs the show. I mean, this is a dangerous Houston team coming off a Final Four season. And what they lost, you'd say, they won't go to the Final Four again. Guess what? Kelvin Sampson is a Hall of Fame coach. We're going to see him not in just the College Hall of Fame. We're going to see him in the Naismith Hall of Fame as well. And that is a team that could make another run to the Final Four, along with Memphis, who is uber talented and also sharing the ball much more unselfish than they were a year ago. The Americans got 2 teams that could vie for Final Four spots.
Shot clock's under 10 for the Illini. Williams, that's a 3. It's short, barely grazed the rim. Well, they did not reset the shot clock. I thought it hit the rim, and that was going to be a clean bucket for the Illini. They're going to go take a look at this on the monitor. What was your thought in real time, Mark?
Yeah, I thought it hit the rim also.
Take another look.
Yeah, it hit the rim.
Yeah, it hit the rim.
Yeah.
So Coburn goes up with this after the shot clock, which should have been reset, but was not, expired. So what happens here?
So one thing to keep in mind as we go through this and look at the replay also, how did Coburn get that basketball with Micah Adams-Woods, who's 6'2", on a good day, closer to the floor, and somehow Coburn comes up with the basketball. And so now they're going to review it.
So the continuation of the play turned into basically
Coburn had the basketball. He had possession. He had possession of the ball. So if they reset the shot clock and Coburn had possession, then it should be Illinois ball with a reset of 20 seconds. Now they may take the 2 seconds off, leave it at 18 when the whistle blew. And that is what we're going to get.
That's it.
I'm in mid-season form.
You are. So early. So the bucket that Coburn put in was after the shot clock expired, though it shouldn't have. No bucket. He did get credit for an offensive rebound.
Yep.
7 minutes to go. Frazier, 3, short.
Good
Davenport.
Block. Good block off by Adu.
Davenport taking it towards the rim. It's going to be a blocking foul on the Illini. Hawkins blocked a shot before it got to the rim. Fouls on Frazier, his first.
Well, Cincinnati has obviously figured out that whenever they get a defensive rebound or turnover, it better be a sprint right to the rim before Coburn gets back, because he takes so much space inside. But credit Coleman Hawkins. Long, up-and-comer, really talented, big-time jumper. He had a slam against Marquette that was a posterizer type deal. That kid is talented, number 33 in orange.
Which,
Coleman
unfortunately
Hawkins.
for Illinois, turned out to be their final field goal of the game. And
right.
They wound up losing by 1 to Marquette. But it was a very impressive, as you say, athletic play by Hawkins. And Davenport hits both free throws. The good news for Cincinnati, Davenport had 3 shots, all 3s that he's missed tonight. He actually drove the ball to the rim.
Yeah. Yep, didn't settle that time.
The Illini have gone over 5 minutes without a field goal. Seen their lead cut down to 5. It was 15. A Hawkins 3 showing his range, but Coburn had it for a moment, lost it out of bounds. Cincinnati ball.
Big Cincinnati possession right here. I would look for Jeremiah Davenport. He just got some rhythm, got to the rim, got to the free throw line. Look for number 24 in white, Jeremiah Davenport, who likes to take big shots in big situations. This is the biggest shot of the first half for the Bearcats.
Screen, Davenport, Saunders has the bigger Hawkins on him, gave it up. Mama playing with 2 fouls. 3! Huge shot for Cincinnati. Gets it within 2.
They found him. Smart basketball, Wes Miller coached basketball.
14-1 run for Cincinnati. They double Coburn, and he is fouled. He thought perhaps he traveled first.
You've got to know situational basketball, and Jeremiah Davenport had just driven the ball to the rim. He's calling for the ball. Look how he moves to the open space, and because of the great screen that he set early in the possession, he's got a size advantage over Curbelo on the switch. Really well executed and recognized by Cincinnati.
First field goal of the game for Davenport, coming in a big spot. Odi Iguama picked up that foul, so he's at 3. Still just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Coburn, who's a 55% foul shooter last year, hit his first 3 from the line tonight. He has 13 points.
Grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. I did basketball camps in Kingston, Jamaica. Really had a wonderful experience there, but it is a rough city, and there's a lot going on where you get into a lot of trouble. And Kofi credits his brothers and sisters for doing a great job of basically guiding him and raising him as he was on the streets of Kingston. His father passed away in 2016 of a heart attack. But his brother and sisters, again, helped him through it. He has such a great foundation, a family foundation. He's one of the most pleasant, most infectious personalities I've been around, Mark. He's a really tremendous young man.
A lot of fun to talk to yesterday. And he mentions one of his older brothers, a very distinguished player in his own right in basketball. And helped Kofi chart his course.
Kofi was actually a great track runner and soccer player. He didn't start playing hoops until about 2015.
And I saw a 15-point lead cut down to 2.
Uh-oh!
Hawkins saw an open lane. He does what he does so well with that flush. His first bucket of the game. Illini fans representing well here tonight. They enjoyed that flush. Coleman Hawkins. He's defending Davenport.
Wow.
Well, you and I had a pretty good look. That looked like a clean block for Hawkins, but it is called a foul.
Yeah, the Red Sea of Cincinnati just parts. And Coleman Hawkins is more than happy to take advantage of the direct route to the rim. That dude's going to be special before it's all said and done. Here's Davenport being aggressive. That's not a foul. That's not a foul. It's a great block.
Instead, it's Hawkins' first foul of the night. Davenport gets that one to fall. He has 6 points. Coleman Hawkins, California native. Coburn is checked out. One or two, Adu had it, then just kind of flipped it back, loose ball, and then he and Davenport collide, and they can't keep it alive.
Well, you got to love the effort, though. As John Newman just went flying in there, John Newman III, who got the tip. So Adu gets the first tip. Newman comes flying from the backside. I mean, this is why Cincinnati is hanging around in this game right now. Adu just doesn't give up on the ball, and then Newman comes over, look at that, goes over the back but gets away with it, which is fine and dandy. Let's keep playing. But Cincinnati really getting after the loose balls. They're much more active than they were early in this game. Newman will sit down.
He's like he's hobbling a little bit coming off the floor. It's rebounded off the floor by Mason Madsen.
Got to push it. Got to push it.
Madsen looking. Saunders 3. And Curbelo.
Technical foul.
Technical
Taunting.
foul.
Yep.
Curbelo shaken up. And a taunting technical foul going against Cincinnati.
Yeah, Curbelo was a little bit lame on that. Cincinnati went to Saunders to take advantage of that.
And he clicked heels with Coburn.
Yeah, and he goes down. And Cincinnati recognized it because he was matched up with Saunders. Saunders shot the ball over. Watch Saunders afterwards. See, as he's barking. He's barking at the bench. Just can't do that. Especially when you're playing well. You've been down this game by 15 points. You're only down by 2. Why? Why?
So the taunting technical against Mike Saunders, just as Cincinnati had gotten it back down to a 2-point game. So the Illini with the ball. 4:15 to play first half. Our first of 2 games tonight, in the annual Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City. Later tonight on ESPN News, Arkansas and K-State.
Curbelo, oh, that's a nasty moving screen. Good call. Jacob Grandison runs right through Mike Saunders. Here it comes. Watch number 3. Boom. That was what you call headhunt right there.
One of the points of emphasis for officials this year. So it turns into the 5th turnover in the first half for the Illini.
Quick move.
Oh, what a move by the 6'11" sophomore Victor Locken.
Move, the spin right away. And Vic Locken, on behalf of all Bearcat fans everywhere, spasiba. That means thank you in Russian, by the way. I don't even get a comment out of that.
You're bilingual, trilingual.
Yeah.
I know you're.
I'm speaking Russian. I'm bringing it all.
Coburn on the deck. He's going to stay with the Illini. Illinois got out to a 23-8 lead, and at that point, Wes Miller called timeout. Things changed from that point in this game.
Yeah, they start doubling down on Kofi Coburn. Every time he catches the ball, there's 4 white jerseys surrounding him. It's been effective for Cincinnati, and Cincinnati has competed much better. They rolled over and played dead for about 5 minutes, and Illinois was more than happy to oblige them. Look at all the white jerseys. Look at all the white jerseys.
3 around him. Coburn unable to finish it, and a loose ball picked up by Locken.
Now they are crowding Coburn inside. Illinois
started 9 for their first 16 from the field. Since then, they are 1 for their last 11. DeJulius, jab step 3. The Coburn rebound. It's 5 for Kofi on the boards. Coburn.
Got a surrounding. There they are.
Blocked away by Adu. Back to Curbelo. Still 10 on the shot clock for the Fighting Illini. Behind the back, Curbelo. Right in his way was Coburn. Had it for a moment, lost it to Julius the other way. Too strong. We're going to get a push and a foul against Illinois.
Remember early in the game where Cincinnati decided not to double down on Kofi Coburn, the big fella right there. Keep an eye on him. Every time he catches the ball, he is surrounded. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 white jerseys around Coburn. They're crowding him. They're making him uncomfortable. This is the adjustment that Wes Miller made after about the 7-minute mark done of the first half, and has been highly effective.
Last foul on Hawkins, his second. He's the first Illini player to 2 fouls. Under 2.5 minutes to go, first half. Cincinnati looking for their first lead of the game. They would have it here, but that three missed by Koval. Lock-in. Oh! Third opportunity, and Cincinnati has their first lead of this game with 2:10 to play in the half.
Locken's been a Russian nightmare here in the first half, the last 10 minutes. What energy number 30 has brought. Got it sounding. Well done by Locken again.
Coburn wanting a foul, instead going the other way. Locken, and then Grandison catching up to it, punched it out from behind. That went almost in the lap of Paul Pierce, who's sitting down on the baseline.
Now, Victor Locken has just brought so much energy. He plays so hard. He's being blocked off, but he's able to, because of his reach, his wingspan, go up and over. I mean, that is Condor-like right there. Victor Locken, welcome to America in NCAA basketball.
Condor-like, that's outstanding.
Like that?
That is. I don't get many Condor references except on the National Geographic Channel. Julius.
Yeah, I'm going to get into vampire bats later on, baby. Just wait.
Curbelo, that's a long two. Got it. Back in front.
He settles this team, doesn't he?
He does indeed. And did they get Curbelo? That's a technical on Curbelo. So a technical on him. So each team now has had a taunting technical.
Yep. And both of them point guards during critical times of this first half. You know, we noticed yesterday during practice, as we take a look at Curbelo, knocks it down, and he turns to the Cincinnati bench and has something to say, and the officials step in, and rightfully so. But we saw Cincinnati a little chippy with each other. They were a little edgy, weren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And then Illinois comes in. They're a little chippy with each other, a little edge to them. We're seeing it tonight. Now they're taking it out on each other. That's actually better than taking it out on your own dudes, you know.
The Matumbo finger wag is a no-no these days.
Oh, well.
It's going to get you technical.
Yeah.
Cincinnati with the ball up one after Davenport shooting the technicals. Julius. Newman leads in. Off the left side. Coburn batted it. Williams had it. Able to get it back.
Remember, when Curbelo went out of the game previously in the half, Illinois offense became, in one word, dysfunctional. That'd be the best way to describe it. And there it is, dysfunction.
Pass,
no timing, no cohesiveness.
Pass behind Williams, the seventh turnover of the half for Illinois. Each side now with 7 turnovers in this first half.
There's Curbelo. That's what we saw in practice. He coaches on the sideline when he's not in the game. Okay, made a mistake, but he's still coaching. He's verbal. He's making up for it now, even from the bench. I like that.
So under a minute to play in the first half from Kansas City. Saunders sealed off there by Plummer. Koval a three. Got about a 5-second difference, shot clock and game clock, and the Illini are going to use the use it or lose it timeout here. 32.5 seconds left in the first half. Illinois got off to a hot shooting start, but have cooled off dramatically, 11 of 30 from the field, so they're shooting 37%. Cincinnati not a lot better. They had a cold shooting start. They're up to 39%. Illinois just 2 out of their last 14 from the field. Well, we had the induction class last night of this year's College Basketball Hall of Fame, and Paul Pierce from Kansas, one of those inducted. Along with David Greenwood, Hersey Hawkins, Jim Jackson, Antoine Jamison.
Nice.
Coaches Tom Penders, Rick Beard. Lynn Bias went in. His mother, Dr. Lenice Bias, was there to induct her late son. It was a great night last night.
You know, we saw some Kansas luminaries here last night. Bill Self was here. Wayne Simeon, we ran into him in the elevator going up to the event. First class all the way. And Paul Pierce, you know, was really cool about what you just saw. He picked up his medal and he showed it to the camera. I mean, you think there's not pride in being inducted in the College Basketball Hall of Fame? Really fun night last night.
And one of the things they showed us was a picture of the first induction ceremony, which I believe was 2005.
Yeah,
There's John Wooden. Yep. And the luminaries that were inducted that night, incredible.
Bill Russell. Oscar Robertson, Dean Smith, and John Wooden. How about that?
That was the first induction class.
Of course, the Big O, the first African-American player to break the color barrier at the University of Cincinnati. Led the Bearcats to the Final Four a couple different occasions.
Frazier 3. Plenty of time for Cincinnati to get the final shot of the half.
Roadrunners
taking it all the way, blocking foul.
He's inside the line.
So inside the restricted arc. Foul on Grandison.
Really good recognition by the Roadrunner. Hello and goodbye by Mike Saunders. There you see Grandison inside the arc. Therefore, the automatic block. And Saunders, recognizing time and circumstance, now goes to the line.
Second foul on Grandison. Jeb Hartness trying to keep the peace between Plummer and Newman there.
Wes Miller described Mike Saunders as having a little bit of Ty Lawson in his game. Of course, Miller played with Lawson at North Carolina. They won the national championship together.
11 points off the bench in the first half for Mike Saunders Jr. 3-point lead for Cincinnati, their largest of the game. Illinois will try to get a quick shot off here before the end of the first half.
But what a comeback by Cincinnati.
We're down 15 at one point. Frazier into the front court. Puts it up. Whoa. Just missed it. A hair long off the back rim. But Cincinnati down by as many as 15 at one point in the half on a 26-8 run, while the Illini hit only 2 of their last 15 from the field. And as a result, it's a 3-point lead for the Bearcats at the intermission.
Credit Wes Miller for the timeout at about the 13-minute mark of the first half. And they
in the first half. Illinois started the game 9 of 16 from the field, finished 2 of their last 15. And Cincinnati, trailed by as many as 15, have the ball and lead by 3 to start the second half. Three, Davenport, bam, swish. What a start for the Bearcats, and that's 11 for Davenport, who missed his first 3 shots of the game, which were all 3-point attempts.
So watch for Illinois, watch for Coburn, number 21. See if he can pass out of the post. Now, he could not do that a year ago, plain and simple. He averaged only 0.2 assists per game last season. That's like microscopic in the grand scheme of things. Basically, single-digit assists for the season. See if he's improved in that area.
Something that sticks out at the half for Illinois, Trent Frazier came in as their leading scorer, 18 points per game. Scoreless in the first half. 0 of 5 from the field. 4 of those were 3-point shots.
Andre Curbelo is so much fun to watch as you take a look at Trent Frazier and the numbers that he has in the defense that's been played on him tonight. But Curbelo just did a pinball move off the side window of a UC Bearcat. And Micah Adams-Woods on the backside on the out-of-bounds play. He's so clever. He's so savvy. He's so much fun to watch.
Sophomore from Puerto Rico hits both. Somebody from the crowd, I assume Cincinnati fan, yelled out, "Miss it," just as he was putting that second free throw up. He swished it, and he gave that fan a look as he was headed back down court. You can't get a technical for that.
Allegedly, it was an Arkansas fan from what I saw. Allegedly. Right. I don't want to blame the entire state of Arkansas, but it looked like, based on the hats they were wearing, they're Arkansas fans.
Adams-Woods a miss. Davenport trying to clean it up, and does. And after a little bit of a rough start, Jeremiah Davenport has been very effective with 13 points.
That's the neat thing about Jeremiah Davenport. You don't necessarily have to run an offensive play to get him points. Great defense.
By DeJulius. The Illini turn it over for the 8th time. 3, yep. Davenport, little heat check off the front rim.
He definitely wanted that one. He was waving for it.
Feeding Coburn, Adu down low. They can't stop Kofi there. His first bucket of the second half. He has 16.
Yeah, Brad Underwood has told Kofi Coburn, you've got to make a quick move. You can't dribble it. You can't do anything. You just got to drive right to the rim. Otherwise, there's going to be white jerseys all over you. Good adjustment by Coach Underwood.
Well, I asked you what the adjustment was going to be, and we see it right out of the chute. Adams Woods bumps into Curbelo.
Really good on-ball defense by Curbelo.
Newman gets in the lane with the left hand, kisses it in. First hoop of the night for Newman. It was a high degree of difficulty trying to get it to Kofi, but how about that to Julius? But he stepped out of bounds, but he prevented Coburn from getting that pass and probably stuffing it.
Where Curbelo just finding Coburn. A quick move to the rim. Didn't wait for the defenders to come to him. He decided to go right to the rim. And then John Newman III, his dad played at Richmond. Really good player for the Spiders. And John Newman, one of those guys, he's got those competitive eyes. I love the way he approaches the game. I love the way he competes.
Curbelo.
Whoa.
Couldn't finish it off the back rim. Now here comes Saunders saying, you can watch my speed. Runs into Curbelo. And that's the foul on Andre. That's number 3 on Curbelo, and it comes relatively early here in the second half.
Yeah, when Mike Saunders gets rolling downhill, very, very difficult to stop. And he's a point guard that really understands attack mode on offense. By Wes Miller, while he's certainly not Ty Lawson, but he mentioned Ty Lawson as a comparison.
Even if you're just in that conversation, that's a good thing.
Of his speed, absolutely. His speed with the basketball is elite, and that's why he compares him to Ty Lawson.
Both free throws hit by Saunders. It's the biggest lead of this game for Cincinnati. They are up by 8. They trailed by as many as 15 in the first half.
Watch Saunders, number 3, matched up with Frazier, number 1. Remember, the leading scorer for the Illini has had difficult time getting touches and getting open.
Coburn.
There's the pass out. Good job.
Hawkins gives it back up. Coburn lost the handle. It's up in the air. Brought down by Saunders.
But that's what Kofi Coburn should do. Really good job of recognition, passing out of the post, then getting it back.
Adams Woods, left hand, no. Adu offensive rebound, back. The Davenport family name in the Queen City of Cincinnati is basketball royalty, and Jeremiah is a part of that legacy.
Yeah, Darren Davenport is the father of the first basketball family of Cincinnati. And back in April, Darren watched his sons playing on a Sunday night, and within hours, he died suddenly at 55 years old. To give you an idea of Darren Davenport's imprint on the basketball culture of the great city of Cincinnati, he played at Mount Healthy as a 6'5" guard who could flat out score. He was a star in 1980s at Mount Healthy High School. He played at Alcorn State, Northern Kentucky. He coached the Queen City Prophets, really good program of AAU. He officiated middle school games. His wife Sheila played at Morehead State, a great player in her own right. And all 5 Davenport kids have played Division I basketball. On behalf of ESPN, we want to extend our condolences to the Davenport family of Darren, who passed away back in April, and now we're back in season. And I can tell you this, Sheila, your son Jeremiah is one of the shining lights of this basketball program at Cincinnati. He stayed home instead of leaving for Moeller High School, and he is a fine young man, and you should be proud of him. And I know Darren is looking down right now, very proud of his son, Jeremiah Davenport.
Well, the Davenport family, that's going to stay with Cincinnati. Mom and Dad Davenport, Jeremiah, his 2 brothers and 1 sister all played NCAA Division I hoops. And I asked Jeremiah yesterday, so who's the best athlete in the family? He didn't stop. He just said, yeah, it's me. Come on. It's me.
My guess is Sheila when you come right down to it. That's my guess. I know who is in my family. It's Judy. She was the All-American in the family.
Here is Davenport. Jeremiah, tough shot, short with it. Adu fields it off the floor, and Davenport gets it back. 6 to shoot. That shot didn't hit the rim. Neither did that. Good defense by Hawkins. Numbers here for the Illini. Hawkins trying to get to the rim. Adu cuts him off. Williams gets in the lane. Pass deflected as the hands of Adams Woods gets it back for the Bearcats. 10 Illini turnovers.
You know, Cincinnati's just played harder. After the first run of this game, Cincinnati has played a lot harder, just tougher.
Coburn swatted that one away like a fly, and then the shot from Davenport way off the left side.
Got to get into Coburn. Why aren't they throwing it to him?
I was going to say, you get the.
Got to give it to him.
You got to get it to him now, and they need a basket badly.
Give it to him. You got to give him the basketball. Somehow Illinois is now forgetting that Kofi Coburn is still a weapon inside.
Hawkins drew a crowd. Coburn was open underneath, but he couldn't get the pass to him.
I mean, Mark, anybody that draws double teams is valuable on offense. You've got to give him the ball and give him a chance to make a play, either a quick move to the basket or to a pass out to a spot-up shooter.
Kofi sets the screen. Williams.
One pass shot. If that goes inside out, that's a different shot.
Saunders slows it down. I think everybody wants to catch a breath on both sides. We're close to immediate timeout as it is with the next stoppage. Adu.
Nothing there.
Deflected. Williams. Frazier looking for his first bucket. And then underneath, Williams. Illinois fouls on Jacob Grandison. His third. And Illinois started out so hot. In fact, they hit 2 of their first 3 three-point shots. They've missed their last 9 three-point attempts since then. Led by 15 at one point, now trail it by 11.
Wes Miller 4-0 to start his career at Cincinnati. Tay Baker was the last coach to do that back in the mid-60s.
Yep, 1965. Anthony Shez did it in 1902. Nobody has ever started 5-0 as a head coach in their first year at Cincinnati. Wes trying to do that tonight, Coach Miller.
I never saw Coach Ches, his teams play, by the way. I
think that was 120 years ago.
Yeah, I missed those. But I saw Tay Baker's teams play. They were good.
Saunders, boy, he has been a force off the bench tonight for Cincinnati.
Well, when he gets downhill, I mean, the scouting reports all across the American Athletic Conference and all the opponents for Cincinnati is simply going to be keep Mike Saunders from going downhill, because when he goes downhill, a lot of good things happen for the UC Bearcats.
Saunders' career high, by the way, is 19 points, which he set last year.
Against Memphis. That Penny Hardaway vaunted defense of the Tigers of Memphis, by the way, they are loaded.
Yes, they are.
They remind me of the old Jim Calhoun teams of Donyell Marshall, Donnie Marshall, Ray Allen, those dudes.
Saunders responds after missing his first free throw attempt of the night. He's 7 of 8 from the line. 16 points for Mike Saunders Jr.
Memphis is a Final Four type team. Cincinnati's underrated. They picked 6th in the American. 6th.
Shows you how deep the American is.
If they're 6th, it's a 6-bid league. That's how good Cincinnati is.
Williams stops the dribble. Illinois, 3 of their last 22 from the field. Need to get a shot up. 5 on the shot clock. Curbelo tied up by Lockett, and Saunders. Possession arrow keeps it with the Illini with just 3 on the shot clock. Coming up later tonight, Arkansas against K-State. Losers of the 2 games tonight playing the 3rd place game tomorrow. The winners playing that championship game on ESPN2 tomorrow night at 9:30 Eastern.
Both those teams undefeated. J.D. Notte. Watch out for the 6'2 guard for Coach Musselman and the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Keep in mind,
battle some good guards in that game.
Just 3 on the shot clock. He's got to get it up. Got it off in time. An offensive rebound. Austin Hutcherson, who's in the game, kept the possession alive, but that bounces off the chest of Coburn. Now he and Lockett battling for it. And that is going to be a tie-up, so that goes to Cincinnati.
First to floor always wins. And Vic Lockett was the first to the floor.
12 turnovers for the Illini.
I'd like to see the big fella Vic Locken get a touch right here. He's played so hard, done so many good things on his help defense. There he is.
They had 6'3" DeMonte Williams on him, but he couldn't get him the ball. Hutcherson driving, Locken blocks it away, but the contact and the foul is going to send Hutcherson to the line. That's the third of Micah Adams-Woods. So here's Hutcherson, who I don't even think he practiced yesterday. Because he's had a tailbone injury. But able to get in the game tonight. You and I were watching last night at the practice. I don't think we saw him at all in there.
They mentioned that he would suit up, but they weren't sure if he's going to play. But this team needs a lift. They came out sky high in the first part of the first half. And then Cincinnati has raised their game significantly since that time.
Hutcherson, who missed all of last season with a back injury, a grad transfer. It's that last free throw, and it's a 49-36 Cincinnati lead.
Great cut.
DeJulius. Locken. 6 on the shot clock. Wamba's going to come in along with Koval, and Locken's going to go to the bench.
Well, Wes Miller has a lot of options, doesn't he? I mean, they're almost better when they come off the bench.
Under 5 on the shot clock. A 3, Koval off the left rim. Offensive board to Julius.
Watch DeJulius move without the basketball. Number 5 in white. Well, when he makes cuts with authority. There it is right there. He always keeps defenders playing defense.
Adams-Woods gets it to go, that left hand. Second bucket tonight for Micah Adams-Woods.
The depth at the guard position for Cincinnati is going to be difficult for other teams to stay up with. They have big guy depth and they have perimeter depth. That's a hoist.
And a feedback from COVID protocols. Coverage starts with the NBA countdown at 7 Eastern. Well, this game began with Kofi Cockburn dominating. It was 23-8. Illinois led by 15. Cincinnati head coach Wes Miller called a timeout. From that point on, he has seen a lot of doubles, even triple teams, and it's totally changed the complexion of this game.
Well, that's why Wes Miller has had over 185 career wins, the winningest coach under 40 in America. Dude knows what he's doing.
Curbelo, tough shot. Tip goes off the back of Cockburn. Out for Hutcherson, 3 in and out, and Illinois just can't buy a bucket right now.
Well, Cincinnati's defense has been stifling. I mean, that's the thing. There's always fresh bodies coming at you. Illinois is not as deep as Wes Miller's ball club, and Cincinnati has simply worn the Illini down.
Illinois has missed their last 9 shots. They're 1 of 11 from the field here in the second half. As you see, down to 28% for the game. DeJulius on Curbelo, shoots over him and scores.
Like David DeJulius, he just owns late shot clock situations. Has tremendous strength. He gets his pads low. You know how great running backs get their pads low to the ground? That's David DeJulius.
5 points for DeJulius, who has publicly spoken about his issues with mental health and has come out on the other side a much better person.
Yeah, last season, mid-season, he lost 25 pounds, and he told me that he was in the darkest place of his life. But today he says he's glad it happened because he found his foundation. He went down to his faith in God. That was number 1. He recognized his limitations. He wanted to find himself in who he was as the Bearcats get another turnover. He decided to read more and watch TV less. He didn't want to be distracted by the negativity that was on the screen that he saw. Coach Miller pulled him in one day when Miller took over in April, and they talked about that darkest moment in David DeJulius' life. and he suggested a book, The Obstacle is the Way. And Coach Wes Miller mentored him as adversity shapes who we are, is what David DeJulius told me. David DeJulius is in a good space today. And I'm proud to tell you that he's willing to share his mental health struggles in going through that darkest moment of his life and finding the light on the other side through faith and then a refocus on what was best for him moving forward. A profile encouraged by David DeJulius.
Great story. Glad to see him doing well and there to help others. Past the midway point of the second half. Coburn called for the foul on a clear out.
Now that's a frustration foul right there. Odi Oguama is one of those Energizer bunny types and can drive you crazy. And he just drove Kofi Coburn to another foul with a high forearm toward the face of Oguama. Cincinnati has been mentally tough tonight. Very impressive.
Down by 15 at one point. And now they're knocking on the door, maybe pushing this to 20. Saunders, who's been a big part of this offensive outburst for the Bearcats. All off the bench tonight. 5 to shoot. Davenport. He's got the ball in his hands. That's a long three. Boom! 19 points for Jeremiah Davenport. Timeout, Illinois.
The first family of basketball in Cincinnati. The Davenport name rings loud across the Queen City. And Jeremiah Davenport just rung one up. Steph Curry type range. Pose, Jeremiah Davenport. Celebrate. It is a Cincinnati Bearcat night tonight at the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City.
What a night it has been after that difficult start for Cincinnati, down 15 early. Cincinnati was really turning the ball over frequently early in this game. They had 7 turnovers very early in the contest. Since that point, they've created 12 turnovers from Illinois and only turned it over twice themselves.
Houston is rated in the top 25 in the country. Memphis is rated in the top 25 in the country. Guess what? Cincinnati's going to be rated in the top 25 in the country in the American Athletic Conference. There's going to be 3 teams rated really soon if Cincinnati can finish this out. And then, of course, there's tomorrow night against the winner of Arkansas and Kansas. This is a quality basketball team.
Arkansas, Kansas State, our second game tonight here on ESPN News. Of course, Arkansas is ranked 13th.
Yep.
Curbelo, and then the aggressive defense from Newman. He picks up the foul. His second.
Let's see if Andre Curbelo can engineer a comeback here. Down 20, 8:51 to go. But he's the guy that's capable of running this engine and revving it to a comeback. But it's got to start now.
Getting it in the hands of Coburn will probably go a long way. And an Illinois rival return in this game. He just bullied his way to the basket right there.
Yep. Yeah, you go one-on-one with him, good luck trying to stop him. There are Mack trucks who would go full reverse when he bumps into him.
And as I was trying to say, if Illinois is going to rally, that's going to go through Coburn. But Cincinnati just keeps making shots. 7 for DeJulius.
Yeah, DeJulius mentally tough.
Back to a 20-point game. I'll tell you what, when this game was 23-8 Illinois, about 7-8 minutes into it, if I had told you that Cincinnati would have a 20-point lead with 8 minutes left in the game, you'd have said I was crazy.
Yeah, Illinois has scored 15 points since that 23-point outburst early in the first half.
Last foul was on Adu, his third, and he gets his 4th right there as he reaches around Coburn. That gets Seguama up off the bench along with Locken from Cincinnati.
So Adu comes out, Locken comes in, Oguama comes in. they've got some interesting parts and pieces to this Tornia.
Yeah.
Okay. Then where do you do you take the Colorado River against the current, or do you go north through to the Columbia River between Oregon and Washington, and then snake your way down the Snake River somehow into the Colorado? How do you do that?
Are you like a riverboat captain in your spare time? Your knowledge of the riverways and geography is astounding.
And I also speak Russian, as you know. Spasiba for noticing that. So you should say "пожалуйста." You just say "пожалуйста."
I might make a bad mistake and say something I don't want to say. If I try to repeat that.
We did games together for a lot of years over on the West Coast, the Big West and the West Coast Conference, and now we get reunited again, Pards. You've just been looking forward to this, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just getting going here in Kansas City. First of 4 games in 2 days. Hawkins, his 3rd foul. 16 fouls in the half. Really on both sides, so we're close to the bonus for each team. Saunders, Plummer reached in, got a hand in there that disrupted, but commits the foul. No question, Davenport's been a big story. DeJulius, but Saunders has been as big a story for Cincinnati tonight.
Yeah, he's been the catalyst for sure. When you see him accelerate to the rim, just so explosive. Great hair, too. I'm envious.
I was going to say, it's just jealousy talking right there. He hits the front end now, 17 points. Closing in on a career high, which is 19.
Now, he changed his color a little bit from last season. It's a little bit lighter than it was a year ago, a little more of a gold tint to it. But it also could change. He leaves that open to speculation as we move through the season. So it'll be interesting to see if the hair color changes at all through the season. I'll report on that as we get through the year.
I'll sleep better tonight knowing that we have that covered. Anderson looking. This is Frazier, who has not scored tonight. 0 for 7. Over 30 minutes of action. Now he's 0 for 8. He came in leading the team in scoring, averaging 18 points a game.
I mean, this looks like a Mick Cronin defensive clinic right now. Only it's Wes Miller at the helm now. In Cincinnati, their defensive pedigree for decades has been stellar. And it is showing again tonight.
Lock-in. Hawkins from the backside thought he had all ball, but is called for the foul, his 4th. Well, still 6:52 to play. Wes Miller's trying to become the first head coach in Cincinnati basketball history to start his career 5-0 as Bearcats head coach.
Yeah, I like his chances right now. And you're talking about some legendary coaches, and Ed Jucker, who led the Cincinnati Bearcats to 5 straight Final Fours, won 2 national titles in 61 and 62.
And I remember a few years ago, I had a game not far from here at Allen Fieldhouse when Wes Miller brought UNCG in to play Bill Self's team. They lost, but I remember back then even, this is 3 years ago probably, there was talk, hey, if Roy Williams retires, which he since has, Wes Miller was a guy that many people thought may go back to his alma mater. This is a quality guy. For Cincinnati to get Wes Miller, that's a great hire.
It is a great hire. You know, Wes, one of those up-and-coming guys. I had Wes Miller's UNCG team against Roy Williams in Greensboro. You know, one thing I like about what Roy Williams does, he's willing to go on the road and play a couple games a year in a situation like that. And in that case, paying back to one of his former players. And Wes Miller has really taken on even the mannerisms of Roy Williams. And Wes Miller, a gentleman just like Roy Williams is. And, of course, all the things they stat and chart, they stat like 50 different statistics that they do post-game. Now, how you do that, I don't know. I'm not smart enough. But Wes Miller is, and that's all that matters.
Though I've not heard Wes Miller say, "aw, shucks," at any point.
That's true.
That bounces in for the freshman R.J. Melendez, his first basket tonight.
Cincinnati has just that rich history.
Moving off the front rim. Illinois with just over 6 minutes to go.
Well, for Illinois, there hasn't been much good news, certainly, since that 23-point spurt to start this game. But you got to build on something here.
3 right side, Melendez short. Lockett battling at 3 orange jerseys around him, but it's Newman who initially had it, but he's tied up there by Alfonso Plummer. Possession arrow for Illinois. Possession arrow keeping it with the Fighting Illini.
So Cincinnati and Illinois played in 2005. I actually called that game. It was in the Las Vegas Classic. They played at Valley High School in Las Vegas. And I'll never forget that because, you know, when you see guys like Dee Brown and Darren Williams and Luther Head all on the same team, and Illinois owned Cincinnati that night. Jason Maxiel's bunch only scored about 47 points in that game. And Illinois was really, really good. But, man, I love that 2005 version under Bruce Weber, who we will see Bruce here in the second game tonight.
Illinois has missed their last 16 three-point attempts.
That 2005 team, they won 37 games.
Wow. That's a lot of wins. Illinois had out-rebounded their opponent by at least 20 rebounds in all 3 games they had played coming in tonight. They have been out-rebounded by Cincinnati, just by a couple at this point in the game. A stoppage with 5:02 to go. It's a 33-32 rebounding edge right now for Cincinnati tonight. Foul for the Bearcats, number 1 on him. Monte Williams through the stripe.
Now the Big Ten has had some really good things happen this week and some not so good things happen this week. And Purdue with the victory over Villanova, one of the really good things that happened this week. But in other areas, not so much.
Free throws for Williams. His first points. And some pressure put on by the Illini defense. Get it across in time. Back to Saunders.
Cincinnati's got good guards and intelligent guards. A lot of point guards on this roster. Wes Miller's figured out a way to keep them all happy.
One of those point guards, Adams Woods, floats it up there with 1 on the shot clock. Lindez, highly recruited freshman for Illinois, brought it up. RJ taking it towards the rim and is fouled. And some of those woes for the Big Ten you have been alluding to, Mark.
Illinois lost to Marquette without Kofi Coburn. Michigan, 2 losses in 7 days. Maryland lost to George Mason. Xavier with a huge win. A huge win over the Ohio State University.
And it's got Xavier into the top 25.
Yeah.
The AP poll that came out today.
Cincinnati,
Well, 4:20 to play, but if this game goes the way that it's looking, what are the Illini fans thinking? Because such high expectations with Coburn playing his first game. And if they're watching with us earlier tonight, the big start where they got out to a 15-point lead. And instead, it looks like at the end of this, they may be 2-2. Gotten it back under 20, but still a big mountain here for Illinois with not a lot of time. Just over 4 minutes to go. There's Madsen. Do with an exclamation point.
Now, tonight is going to have to be a regroup night for the Illini. And they've been exposed tonight. They're either going to have Arkansas or Kansas State tomorrow night. And Coburn coming back, you just got to wonder the chemistry of this team. It seemed right early for sure. And then the change by Wes Miller on the defensive scheme against Coburn just turned this game on a dime.
Julius can't get past the freshman there. Now trying to clear a little space. Leads in, instead passes back out. 10 to shoot. Davenport, 17-footer, in and out.
Pretty good look.
Long pass, Bosmans Verdonk, one dribble. Thought he was going to go up with it, instead passed out to Williams. Another impressive class has been inducted here in Kansas City this year.
My favorite interview was of Hersey Hawkins. When Andy Katz asked him, he said, Hersey, you have 14 individual records at Bradley University. Which one are you most proud of? Hersey said, scoring. I don't even know what the other 13 are.
Yeah,
then he said, what was the best moment of your career? Was it when you went for 60? He said, actually, I'm still upset about that. Because he said, I should have had 70. Yeah. He said, I started feeling guilty, started throwing it to my teammates, but I should have had 70 in that game. How great was that?
I don't doubt that one bit that Hersey Hawkins could have scored 70. Putting Bradley basketball on the map. I mean, whatever you say the university, Bradley, Hersey Hawkins immediately comes to my mind. I don't know about others.
Yeah, Peoria, it's a great basketball tradition. Brian Wardle is there now, coaching the Bradley Braves. And I've been to that town, and it is another good, really rabid basketball city. And Hersey Hawkins is the reason why. I mean, his jersey hangs from the rafters. The arena in downtown Peoria, just a tremendous offensive weapon. Locken with the follow-up. I love his extra sense, nose for the ball, understanding of the game. You know, he played for Cheska. Cheska's a really great international program in Russia. He's a standout player, came to Cincinnati, and while he's learning the American game, his understanding overall and anticipation, he's got great feet, he's got really good hands, and he's got a great mind for the game. He's got a tremendous upside.
He missed all of last season with a knee injury. Actually kind of banged up his ankle in prior to the Georgia game this season. But when we talk with Coach Wes Miller about, how many minutes do you see Victor playing? He said, with Locken, it's really a matchup thing. How many minutes he's going to play a night, depending on the opponent.
Well, he's got such a great motor. I mean, that's the thing about him. You can rely on the fact that when he gets his minutes, it is going to be full bore. He gets after it.
Under 2.5 minutes to go. Cincinnati appearing to be on the way to a 5-0 start this season under new head coach Wes Miller. Illinois in danger of a second consecutive loss. 14th ranked Illinois.
He's just killing people inside.
Blocking. Nice block initially by Hutcherson.
Really good help on the backside, but Locken is just owning the paint like Kofi Coburn did in the first half right now.
Hawkins in and out. Offensive rebound by Bosmans Verdonk. A three. It's been that kind of night for Illinois. Fourth, fifth opportunity. No. That possession right there is Illinois' night in a nutshell.
Right.
Outside the first 6 minutes of the game, 7 minutes or so, when Coburn was rolling. But wow, Saunders, a new career high for him, 21 points.
That previous career high was 19 against Memphis last season. Mike Saunders, got that little technical foul, but boy, he has really stepped up his game.
1 minute to go. So
DeJulius out there at the same time, really tough guard matchup.
It's so still early in the season, Mark. This is not panic time for Illinois. This is an extremely high caliber team. It's going to make a lot of noise in the Big Ten.
But it's a moment in time. And as a coach, you need to, and I'm sure Brad does. Brad Underwood's been around here a long, long time. But this is a moment in time where the troops need to come together, and sometimes you need to make hard decisions as a coach as to who's going to play the next night and who isn't, based upon who's going to give you just maximum effort. And Brad Underwood is not going to accept anything other than maximum effort.
Career high 20 points for Saunders. He and several of the starters come out. We get Sam Martin in the game, a walk-on. Jared Hensley is now in. Guamado with the basket. C.J. Anthony, the lone freshman in this year's recruiting class for the Bearcats, now seeing the floor for Cincinnati. We're a half minute away from going to 5-0. Brandon Lieb in the game for Illinois. This is Connor Servin. So Coach Underwood getting a few off his bench as well.
So the nation has gotten to see Cincinnati on the news tonight, and we'll see them on ESPN2 tomorrow night in the championship game of the Hall of Fame Classic.
That is a stretch of 18 consecutive three-point misses for Illinois in this game. Brandon Pajimski's also in this game for the Illini.